Stop everything you're doing. This is not a coincidence. You have been guided here by a greater force. This message is for you who have a living mother or who feels the absence of the one who has departed. Someone who has already died is crying out from heaven, asking you to listen until the end because something very serious is about to happen to a woman in your family, and you are the only person capable of preventing it. You can ignore this warning, but you will regret it for the rest of your life. The clock is ticking, and this soul who loved you so much in life is begging you to listen to what needs to be said. Now I saw her cry, and no one did anything. Tell her that I'm here, that she's not alone, but please let my daughter know. Let her know before it's too late. That was the message I received, and now I need to tell you everything that was revealed. It was around 3:00 a.m. when it all started. The environment was silent, the wind stopped, and the light seemed heavier, as if time itself had slowed down. That's when I felt the presence of something sacred. I wasn't sleeping. I was awake, and I listened. Yes, I heard clearly a voice that was not of this world, but this voice didn't scare me. It surrounded me with peace, and at the same time with a weight of urgency, as if the whole of heaven had opened a breach just for this message to reach here. This presence, soft as a mother's touch, brought with it the energy of someone who has already departed this earth, but who continues to fight for you in the spiritual world. She said her name, she mentioned the word mother, and then she handed me the most serious warning I've ever heard. As this presence approached, I felt as if my heart stopped for a few seconds. The weather got weird. My body was there, but my soul was pulled elsewhere. It was like being between two worlds, the earthly and the spiritual, the physical and the invisible. And then the voice emerged, but it wasn't just sound. It was a voice that invaded the chest, as if each word crossed the flesh and went straight to the spirit. She's in danger. That was the first sentence I heard. At that moment, my whole body shivered. The presence that spoke to me was no ordinary soul. She was a known soul, someone who has lived here, who has loved, who has suffered, and who now, even in heaven, continues to take care of those she loves. Her voice trembled with pain, but there was firmness, there was urgency, there was a desperate request. Tell her to take care of her mother before it's too late. Tell her that time is running out. These words echoed for minutes inside me, and that's when I understood. This soul wanted to reach you, and she needed me only as a messenger. That voice was from someone who has already left, but who has not rested because she still has an unfinished mission with you. And now she needs you to listen because there's something serious and hidden going on with your mother. The voice continued, more intense, as if all of heaven was trying to push this message into my heart. She's not seeing, but there is a dark cloud over her mother's head, and if you don't warn them, they'll be hit soon. You need to warn her today. I tried to understand. I asked in my mind, but who is she? Why this urgency? And the answer was immediate, as if coming straight from the throne of God. She's going to see this video. She was guided to you. She needs to listen. You will be the channel, but the decision will be hers. At that moment, I realized you are here because you have been drawn to this energy. None of this is by chance. God allows souls who are in the light to warn us, protect us, and even heal us, but they need a listening channel, and today, that channel is you. If your mother is still alive, pay close attention. If she has already left, there is another woman next to you who urgently needs your spiritual intercession. That is your mission now. You have been chosen. Write in the comments now, "I will protect my mother with faith. I accept this spiritual mission." These words release blessings. They are an act of faith. When you write, you're saying to the heavens, "I heard. I'm here. I'm ready." What this celestial presence showed me next was something that gave me complete goosebumps. I saw tears streaming from a woman's eyes, but these tears were not seen by anyone around. It was as if she smiled on the outside, but inside she was suffocating in silence. The image was clear. A mother, a tired warrior, someone who endured more than she should, who cried in secret so that her children would never see her, that has held the whole world on her back but is now on the verge of an invisible collapse. And the spirit that came to me with a firm voice said, "She needs spiritual protection. Evil is trying to destabilize her emotionally. It is being attacked in the most sensitive areas, the heart, health, mind." At that moment, I understood the suffering that lies ahead is not only physical, it is spiritual. And you who are listening to this now are the link that can break this chain before it closes. God has chosen you to be the intercessor, the spiritual shield. You have the power to change that fate, but you need to act now. This pain can be avoided, but it depends on your faith, your action, and your total surrender. Comment now with faith and authority, "Evil will not touch my mother. I stand up as the guardian of my family." These phrases are not just words, they are spiritual decrees. When you comment, you are activating your heavenly authority over your home. Many spiritual attacks do not come with noise. They walk in through the back door, sneakily, silently. They appear as a strange tiredness that does not go away, like a nameless sadness, like a sense of defeat, even when everything seems normal. That's what this presence from heaven showed me. She revealed to me that this mother or this mother figure you love is being visited by spirits of anguish during the night. These evil forces whisper lies in her ear. "You're a burden. Nobody cares about you. Give up. It's all over." They are spiritual darts that cannot be seen but that sicken the soul. And if nothing is done, these emotional arrows become diseases in the body, family breakups, financial crises, deep discouragement, and even thoughts of giving up. And you, without realizing it, may have moved away from her lately, thinking she was fine, but she is not. The enemy acts just like this, attacking silently in the breach of distraction while you are too busy to notice. This message is a warning from heaven. Don't ignore it. You have been spiritually awakened today to see what was hidden from human eyes. And this soul, this person who has already left and who loved you so much, is interceding on the other side for you to act now, because your mother, even if she is silent, is asking for help with her eyes. Will you ignore this call, or will you be the answer to her silent prayer? Declare now in the comments, "I woke up. My mother will not be alone. I rebuke every spirit of sorrow and sickness in my house." Write this down in faith. Your every word has power, and by declaring, you are marking your position before the spiritual world. While this soul was talking to me, another presence manifested itself in the environment. It was more intense, more luminous. It was as if the air had changed density. I knew without anyone having to say an angel had come down there. But he was no ordinary angel. He was an angel with calm eyes like fire and an expression that mixed mercy and urgency. He didn't just come to observe, he came to act. And he said something I'll never forget. The field is prepared, but the order of faith is lacking. She needs to pray. She needs to get up. Her words are key. Her words are swords. At that moment, I understood heaven has already sent help, but this help is waiting for action on your part. There is an angel positioned to defend your mother, your home, your family, but he needs your spiritual authorization. How does this happen? Through prayer, fasting, a firm position in faith, and even now, through your public declaration of faith. You need to say to the spiritual world, "I am here. I believe. I get up." Because when you declare, the angel receives the command. When you pray, the angel wields the sword. When you believe, the angel wins the war. You are not alone, but you cannot remain inert. The war is being fought, and you are the key to victory. Right now in the comments, I release the angels of God on my mother. I activate divine protection over my house. Every word written in faith becomes an order in the spiritual world. Don't underestimate the power of your voice. What was shown below was not a simple picture. It was a clear vision of what is happening behind the visible reality. I saw a family table where everyone was sitting. Apparently, there was peace, but around them, shadows circulated. Spirits of discord, blows of misunderstandings, small noises that gradually create walls between hearts that should be united. These forces are sneaky. They do not present themselves with deformed faces or terrifying voices. They seep in through cold gestures, prolonged silences, misplaced words, old resentments that have not healed. I saw that the target is not just your mother, it's the heart of your family. Evil knows that destroying a house begins by weakening the most sacred link, the love and trust between parents, children, and siblings. And when this bond is weakened, spiritual attacks become even more effective. The spirit who revealed this to me was weeping. It was a bitter cry, like someone who had tried to avoid it for a long time, but now could no longer stop it alone. She said they stopped listening to each other. They stopped hugging each other. They stopped praying together. And that opened a door, a loophole that is being exploited. In spiritual language, everything that is not healed will be attacked. Untreated emotional wounds become spiritual breaches, and these breaches are exactly what the spirits of darkness seek to infiltrate and bring about ruin. The message was clear. Your family's heart still beats, but it's surrounded. There is still time, but that time is running out. The alert from the sky is urgent. The unit needs to be restored because it is in the union of the family that heaven establishes the shield of divine protection. Whoever loves his mother needs to act. Those who honor their family need to wake up because evil is no longer at the door. He is already trying to sit down at the table, and only the active presence of God can cast him out. There are times in life when God whispers, but there are others when he cries out. And when heaven cries out, it is not for everyone. It is for the one who carries within himself the gift of spiritual sensitivity. You have been called, and not by chance. You carry a key that no one else in your family has. You carry the sensitivity that allows you to hear what others ignore. You feel what others don't realize. Have you ever seen hidden tears, unspoken pains? And even though you try to run away, you know you can't be silent anymore. Intercession is not just a prayer. It is an act of war. It is when someone puts himself between evil and the one he loves. That's when you say, if you want to hurt her, you're going to have to get past me first. This is what heaven expects of you now. The mother, or this female figure so important in your life, urgently needs a spiritual shield. It's not just about praying for her, but to take her place in the spiritual field while she is weak, to sustain her faith when the weight is too much, to kneel when she no longer has the strength to do so. To intercede is to love with the Spirit. It is to cry for her before God. It is to pray for her with the same intensity with which you would ask for yourself. It is to say, Lord, if there is any battle to be fought, use me. If there is a tear to be collected, let it be mine. If there is a loophole, I close it. And most incredibly, heaven responds to this kind of surrender. Every time a child prays in faith for his mother, God's heart moves because there is no purer prayer than that which is born of true love. That's why this message has reached you. It wasn't out of curiosity. It was no coincidence. It was because there is a robe being placed on your shoulders at this very moment. You may not feel ready, you may think you don't have the strength, but God has already empowered you. You were chosen for this. You are the bridge between her and the miracle. She doesn't speak. She doesn't complain. She says it's okay even when her soul is in pieces. She gets up every day, does her duties, cooks, takes care of her smiles. But at night, when no one sees, she collapses into silence. The pain that your mother or this woman in your life carries is invisible to ordinary eyes, but the spiritual world sees it. And the soul who delivered this message to me saw every detail of this pain with frightening depth. This pain has a name: ingratitude, loneliness, fear, tiredness, lack of recognition, lack of purpose. She spent her life putting everyone first. She gave herself until she ran out of strength. She endured situations that no one else could bear. And now, when everything seems normal in the eyes of others, inside she is empty. This is the enemy's strategy: to exhaust the emotional in order to weaken the spiritual. Because when a mother starts to doubt her worth, when she feels that her existence no longer matters, it is there that spirits of oppression, illness, and depression begin to find a home. The sky reveals this to you now so that you can see, so that you notice the little signs that you ignored. The change in behavior, the absence in the places where she was previously present, the excessive silence, the distant gaze, the disconnected words. She's not well, and she needs to be rescued now. This pain is consuming her soul, and if you don't act spiritually, it will sink deeper every day. Don't wait for a breakdown to understand the value of what is being warned about here. God is giving you the opportunity to act before it's too late. This is not the time to wait. It is time to listen, to embrace, to pray, to declare. It is time to protect with words and gestures. It's time to make it clear to her: I see your pain, and I'm here to fight for you. This attitude is capable of breaking invisible chains, and it may mark the beginning of the restoration of all that has been broken within her. The soul that delivered this message to me is not at complete rest, not because she is suffering, but because her mission is not yet over. She loves you so much that even after death, she still looks for a way to reach you. She did not accept simply leaving everything behind because she knows that true love doesn't end with death. On the contrary, it intensifies in eternity. And it was this love that brought her here, not out of vanity, not out of nostalgia, but for a much greater reason. She wants to avoid a tragedy. Yes, an emotional, spiritual, or even physical tragedy, something that could turn into a path of irreversible pain if you ignore this call. That soul came with a supplication that cannot be postponed. Do this today, not tomorrow, not on the weekend, not when you have time. Today, she repeated. If she knows she's still loved, she'll get up. If you say you see it, that you care, she will resist. But if you continue in silence, she will go out. The urgency in this soul's voice was not aggressive, but it was intense. It was the cry of someone who has already seen what is to come, and who is trying to change the course of a suffering that can still be avoided. Have you ever stopped to think how powerful it is for someone who is already in the spiritual plane to come to this world to deliver a message to you? This is not common. It doesn't happen to anyone. It's not theater. It is not an invention. It's a direct warning from heaven because that person knows you. She knows that even when you try to ignore it, your heart is sensitive. She knows you carry faith, even if you feel weak at times. She knows that deep down you love this woman with all your strength, but you may be confused about what to do. So this soul came to clear up your doubt. Do this. Do it today. Visit, call, pray, embrace, intercede. Ask for forgiveness if necessary. Forgive even if it hurts, but do something. Break the silence because in the spiritual world, time is not like ours, and every minute that passes can be decisive. That soul doesn't want to see you crying with regret tomorrow. She wants to see you act today with faith, with love, with urgency. Her visit to me was not by chance. She knew that this message needed a voice, and I accepted to be that voice so that you would have the chance to listen while there is still time. You weren't just chosen to listen. You were chosen to change the ending of this story. When this soul finished revealing to me the urgent cry for your mother, a deep silence settled in the room. It was not just any silence. It was as if the world stopped for a few seconds, as if time had bowed before what was about to be revealed. It was then that the voice of this presence, now calmer and firmer, told me something that touched my soul in a way that I will never forget. There is a prayer, a specific one. It is not a memorized prayer. It is not just any prayer. It's a key. Those words echoed within me. A key. Before I continue, my beloved child, allow me to pause, for there is a sacred secret I've kept just for you, and now is the moment I choose to reveal it. Atheist discovers Jesus, manifestation secret. Deep in the halls of a crumbling museum in Rome lies the biggest secret in human history. A secret devised by Jesus Christ himself. A secret so powerful it was covered up for over 2 centuries, until an atheist from Boston accidentally discovered some ancient documents in the museum's hidden passageway. What this man discovered changed the course of his life forever. Well, that now former atheist is revealing this secret to the public for the first time ever, finally fulfilling Jesus' original plan to allow each and every human on earth to tap directly into God's abundance. But if you want to turn on your God-given manifestation abilities yourself, you better hurry. Click the link in the description or comments section to unlock the secret, because this short video explaining Jesus' biggest secret will be removed from the internet entirely, probably as soon as tomorrow. So don't delay if you want to discover how to tap directly into God's abundance. This is likely your only chance to do so. My beloved child, now is the time to act. Step forward in faith. God bless you. A spiritual key capable of unlocking doors that have been locked for years. Doors of emotional healing, doors of reconciliation, doors of health, protective doors. And she continued, this prayer should be done with a torn heart, not with lips only. It needs to be done with tears, if necessary, with calm surrender and a calm faith, even when fear tries to silence the voice. At that time, I was taken to a different spiritual state. It was as if I were between heaven and earth, and the words began to spring up in my spirit with a strength that was not mine. It was the soul itself speaking through me, and she dictated slowly the prayer that needed to be said for you, for your mother, for your home. And here's what she said. Lord my God, I enter your presence today in the name of all that is sacred, to intercede for the one who gave me life, for the one who so often hid her pains to protect me. I pray, O Father, that where there is darkness over her, may your light invade. Where there is oppression, may your Holy Spirit bring deliverance. Where there is silence, may your comfort speak louder. Where there is fear, let your peace be the shield. May every contrary spirit, every arrow of the enemy, every cursed word, every emotional or physical illness now be uprooted in the name of Jesus. And if she is too tired to pray, may my prayer go up for her. May my faith cover the gaps. May my surrender be the altar where the Lord pours out the miracle. I cry out not as someone perfect, but as someone who loves, as one who believes, and as someone who accepts this sacred mission of protecting those who gave birth to me. In Jesus' name, Amen. When the last word of this prayer was spoken, I felt a weight coming out of the room, as if a cloud had been broken, as if an evil presence had been undone. And that soul smiled, not with her lips but with the light, because she knew that this prayer would not only be heard, but that it would be done by you, and that it would carry the power to completely transform the course of this week. Yes, still this week, what has been stuck for months may begin to unravel. What was unsolved may find a way out. What seemed like helplessness can become a miracle, but the condition remains. This prayer must be done with a surrendered heart, with faith and absolute sincerity. There is no distance that God does not cross when a child prays lovingly for his mother. There is no disease that can resist true prayer. There is no curse that stands before a voice that cries out in faith. Heaven has already handed over the key. Now it is in your hands. There are times when God gives us signs. They come in subtle forms. A sudden shiver, a specific memory, an uncontrollable urge to search for something we didn't even know we needed to hear. But there are other moments like this, in which God does not whisper, He cries out. This message was not brought by chance. It was sent by a soul that has crossed the boundaries between worlds to reach you. And when something like this happens, it's because the risk is real, the danger is immediate, and time is running out. This soul is not here to scare. She didn't come to threaten, but she can no longer remain silent in the face of what is approaching. Yes, there is a darkness approaching, and if you close your eyes now, if you ignore this call, If you treat this revelation as just another video, you can open a loophole that will cost you a lot. God is love, but He is also justice. He warns before allowing. He warns before acting. And right now, He's using everything: the spirit world, the dreams, the emotions, the memory of that departed person, to call you. The protection that rests on your mother, or on this very special mother figure, is directly linked to your reaction to this message, because the spiritual world is based on principles. What you sow, you reap. What you declare, you activate. What you ignore, you deliver. If you shut up, the enemy speaks. If you omit yourself, evil advances. If you close your eyes, the invisible continues to act, but this time without resistance. The soul that appeared knew this. She knew that if you didn't act now, a sacred opportunity would be lost, and more than that, that evil, seeing your indifference, would gain legality to touch what you love most. This is not a game. It's not sensationalism. It is spiritual warfare, and in this war, the enemy does not play fair. He acts in the gaps. He attacks those who are weakened. He enters where faith is dormant. Your mother, or that woman you love, is being targeted, and there is only one way to prevent this: by taking a stand now. If you listen and act, God will send spiritual reinforcement. If you cry out, the angel who has already been appointed can intervene. If you go into God's presence with truth, this situation will be reversed. But if you ignore it, if you carry on as if nothing has been revealed, heaven may allow the consequences to manifest themselves, not as a punishment, but as a result of the absence of spiritual covering. This soul cries out for you because she still believes in your strength. She believes that you are capable of getting up. She believes your faith can still break through the darkness. But she also knows that if you don't listen now, you may remember these words later, when perhaps it is already too late. You still have time, but not much. You have been chosen. Yes, chosen among so many. It was on you that this call fell, not by chance, not by coincidence, but because there is something in you that the spiritual world recognizes. God saw your heart. He saw your falls, your failures, your internal struggles, but He also saw your compassion, your sensitivity, your ability to feel what others don't say. He saw that even if you are injured, you still care. And He saw that even tired, you get up when it's for someone you love. That is why this mission has been handed over to you. This mission is not light, but it is glorious. It is not easy, but it is honorable. It requires sacrifice, but it carries eternal promises. Heaven is entrusting you with a precious woman, the one who carried you, fed you, taught you, defended you, or the one who, even without having generated you, protected you as if you were blood from her blood. Maybe it's your birth mother, maybe it's a grandmother, an aunt, a woman who sheltered you. Regardless of the name she carries in your life, she represents a sacred goal of spiritual protection. And now God is giving you something that many do not have the privilege of receiving: the role of guardian. The spiritual guardian is not just someone who prays. He is someone who takes a stand, who closes loopholes, who kneels for those who can no longer kneel, who discerns the signs that the natural world ignores. You have been called to be an intercessor and shield. This mission has no applause, it has no public recognition, but it carries the watchful eye of God Himself. And every time you stand up for this woman, even in silence, even when no one knows, heaven will register. This mission doesn't end when the video ends. It starts here, but it will continue every day, in your thoughts, in your prayers, in your gestures, and above all, in your choices. Because protecting someone spiritually also means changing behaviors that hurt, cutting habits that contaminate, giving up pride that drives away. God is entrusting you with a responsibility that, if you take it seriously, will bring unimaginable blessings to your home. Protection, prosperity, restoration, and more than that, relief for her heart. Because when a beloved woman realizes that someone cares, something inside her heals. And when this healing begins, heaven finds space to work greater miracles. That is the mission, and it was written in the book of life with your name. You can reject it. You can try to forget. You can pretend that none of this was for you, but within your spirit, you know that this message is yours because God spoke to you through her. And now He awaits your answer. Every sacred mission carries a weight, but along with this weight, God always releases a promise. And the promise released about your life for having received this message with an open heart, for having listened even here in the midst of your own battles, for now discerning all of this with fear, is a powerful, non-negotiable promise. Miracles and protection will come upon your home. Yes, miracles, but not only in the spectacular and flashy sense. Miracles also happen in the small changes that the world does not see, but that make the heart breathe again. The woman you love, the one that heaven has asked you to protect, will begin to feel relief without understanding how. She will wake up with a lighter chest. She will feel a deeper sleep. There will be days when the crying will come, yes, but as an outburst and no longer as despair. This will already be the beginning of the cure. There is an invisible movement that happens every time a child prays for his mother. Every time you pray for her, God activates spiritual resources that have been stopped. Angels move, doors are opened, diseases begin to lose strength, emotional confusions begin to organize, and homes that were torn by discord begin to find love again. But that promise doesn't stop at her. It extends to you because every time someone obeys a heavenly calling, God Himself cares for the one who is caring. You who accepted this mission, you who allowed this message to enter your soul, you who were moved, who recognized yourself, are about to experience a spiritual turn. God will make what was stuck begin to unlock. that which you had already given up, waiting for an answer, a door, a healing, a reconciliation, will be touched by the hand of the Most High because you put yourself in the other person's shoes. And this is the secret that few understand. Whoever intercedes for another releases miracles on himself. That is why, at this very moment, there is something moving in the spiritual world. A new season is approaching, and it has a name: restoration. God will not only protect your mother or this woman you have prayed for, He will reward you for obeying, not with empty riches, but with peace, direction, protection from evil, wisdom and deliverances that you won't even know happened. Because many of God's greatest blessings don't come with a fuss. They come as silence, deliverance, clarity, and preservation. And that promise is written in the heavens from the moment you heard, felt, and accepted it. Don't think that what you did was small. In the spiritual world, this step was giant, and it is being recorded now. You are about to experience one of the most spiritually remarkable weeks of your life. The house where she lives will be fenced. The enemy's plans will be thwarted. The words hurled at your family will lose force. And this woman, this mother, will begin to see the light again. All this because you heard and obeyed. The spiritual presence that was with me throughout this revelation gradually faded, not out of weakness, but because of a mission accomplished. The environment that was once heavy, loaded with urgency, was filled with an indescribable feeling of peace. But before leaving, she said one more thing, and those words were like arrows straight to the heart. With a choked voice and a tenderness that only a soul from heaven can convey, she said, "Tell her that I never stopped looking after her. Tell her that even when she thought she was alone, I was next to her. Tell her that she was my fortress, that for her, I would return to earth if God allowed. But since I cannot, I cry out from here. Do not let the pain overcome the brightness she still has." And then, looking directly at you, she made the most touching request of all: "Do it for me. Take care of her for me. Pray for her for me. Be for her what I can no longer be on this plane. And one day, when all this is over, we will see each other again, and I'm going to thank you for saving her with your faith." That soul is gone, but the message remained, and it is now in your hands. You listened to the end because God chose you, because the Holy Spirit touched your conscience, and because inside you there still pulsates a faith that not even time has been able to erase. Now it's up to you. If this message touched you, woke you up, made you see more clearly, don't keep it to yourself. Share, spread, take this word to other hearts, and especially subscribe to this channel now. It's not just a channel. It is an altar. It is a bridge between heaven and earth through which God will continue to speak to you. Here you will receive more warnings, divine messages, revealed prayers, and words that come at the right time. Sign up, activate the bell, and continue with us on this spiritual journey, because the next videos may contain the next answer you've been waiting for. May the Lord keep you. May the angels surround your house. And may this mission that you accepted today be the seed of a new story in your life. Until the next call, before I continue, my beloved child, allow me to pause, for there is a sacred secret I've kept just for you, and now is the moment I choose to reveal it. The prayer shortcut you've been waiting for. What if there was a way to make sure your prayers were heard instantly? No more waiting, no more wondering, just a direct line to the divine. Sounds impossible, right? That's what I thought too, until I discovered the sacred resonance frequency. It's a forgotten secret from ancient monks, and it's already helping people transform their lives. You can see how it works right here. Click the link in the description or comments section to unlock the secret. This could be the moment you've been waiting for. My beloved child, now is the time to act. Step forward in faith. God bless you.